Well, that was a surprise. It's like the showcase before the showcase alongside Michael Langston, senior recruiting analyst for Warchant.com. My name is Tom Lang, and Florida State has just added another receiver to their 2025 recruiting class. That's 3 blue chippers, everybody, with Malik Clark out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, now joining Florida State. Hit the like button for that information, everybody. Michael, what the heck, man? This was a surprise on a Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, I'll be honest, guys. That's a shocker to me, and usually I'm usually ahead of a lot of these things, but um, this was one that we felt like it was trending towards South Carolina. That was the place that most people around his recruitment thought, but I think in the last probably 9 8 9 hours, things started to change as far as Malik, and based on what I'm hearing now, and then FSU's choice, that if you look at it as far as what FSU did throughout the recruitment, they officially visited FSU in June, and they really made a solid push. And you felt like if they pushed, this was one that to at least keep an eye on. That this would be interesting, but the fact that things shifted, late in that process, and guys, it does happen. It does happen, these things, and I'm sure many FSU fans aren't going to complain too much when you get a top 300 receiver, and certainly getting that guy solidifies kind of your whole wide receiver class. Now you have 3, so I think is surprising news, but also exciting news, and certainly FSU's getting a big time playmaker.
Michael, I remember the interview that he did when he was on campus over the summer, and he's an impressive young man. It's like, broken record. Florida State finds good people to bring into their culture and fits. And it just seemed like at the time, dang, man, the home's going to be the destination for him. This guy seems very much like somebody who fits inside the program for Mike Norvell, beyond, the platitudes, beyond the highlights that we're watching here. What sense did you get of Malik Clark, the player, and then the off the field part of it, where obviously something clicked with him and the staff?
Yeah, the player is, you can use them at wide out. You can use them now. This gives you options, like if you're choosing between Dalen or him, you can move Dalen inside. I think you could put Malik outside if that's what your call was. I think a guy can play inside or outside. Very good route runner, probably one of the best route runners on here. I know this type of clips look dark, but
boy, oh boy, they must have played at 3 a.m. there.
But I think what he does is really stands out about route running, and how he hits into the second level after his first cut is very impressive. Great hands, but the thing that always jumped out to me with his game was the route running, the way he gets in and out of routes. I mean, that's a big deal, and that's what I've kind of circled for this wide receiver class, is they're looking for guys that get separation. That's one of the big things that they've wanted to improve, and certainly adding a guy like Malik. I think Malik, without question, adds that. You see a little bit of that on the hitch and go, as far as that play, but and then off the field, I think he's just a guy that people want to be around, and apparently his family's pretty cool, Tom, because I think his brother came up to me, he's like, "Hey, I watch you guys every day." So I was like, "Okay, there you go." But that was interesting. That's not something you expect from somebody from Rock Hill, South Carolina. It's like somebody who's from Tallahassee or something like that. But I thought that was interesting. But overall, I think he's just a guy that is infectiously people want to be around, and I think he will be a really good locker room guy. Just the way he is, the way his drive, he's always pushing himself to go maybe far beyond of what his talents can be. And I just think he's people that are around him, even when we interviewed him, he's an extremely likable kid.
And this is, again, you look at the size that he brings to the table. He's just under 6'3" at this point. We'll see, obviously, if at some point, growth spurts aren't done before you're done with your senior year. But this is a rangy guy. Dalen McCutcheon, Michael, is a little bit smaller, a little bit shiftier at 5'11", but right, smooth as can be in and out of his routes. And then CJ Wiley is your lankier player. He's just under 6'4". I mean, Michael, now you have 2 on-3 100 players in those guys I just mentioned, in Dalen McCutcheon and in CJ Wiley. This is an on 300 player, if you want to go that way. They like to be kitschy with the terms.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an excellent board. It's a Captain Obvious statement, but my goodness, Florida State in the matter of 6 weeks, maybe less, has gone from nobody on the board to holy cow, this is polished. This is exactly what you're looking for. There's balance here.
Ron Dugan's like, hey, what's up, guys? How's my recruiting going? Ron's like, that was kind of the criticism, a few years ago of, hey, are they able to get some top wide receivers? And, Ron's got 3 in this class, 2 of them top 100, 300. And I think overall, I think this is also the job Ron does, but I think it's also the job, Tom, that this offense is really fun to be in. I think the product overall of what they've done the last 2-3 years that's set up, I think it's very attractive to a lot of playmakers and receivers. And I think running backs is another place where it's very attractive. And quarterbacks, we certainly know they've done really well at quarterback. So I think this is obviously you want to give a lot of credit to Ron because Ron did an incredible job in this recruitment, but I think it's also a combination of the whole staff, offensive staff of this is a fun offense to play in. I mean, if you look at it, the way they utilize receivers is a little bit different as far as they do a lot of runs. They line them up in different places. They're not afraid to move their receivers in the slot or move them into the say a receiver lines up at a tight end, but he's actually doing wide receiver things. I mean, there's a number of ways they find ways to get their playmakers the ball. Running back, they use them as passing guys, receiving guys a lot. So I think a lot of it is just this offense is, as Mike says, built for playmakers.
Well, and you can see the through line now, with the in the receiver room, the future, Michael, is Hakeem Williams, there's Destin Hill, there's Jalen Brown, LaWayne McCoy, Elijah Moore, BJ Gibson, these 3 young men. I'm sure I'm missing a couple there, but
Yeah.
it's the future is so bright now for Florida State at this position group. Since we have you here, your brief thoughts on the Seminole Showcase coming up this weekend. We can keep it tied to the receiver board. CJ Wiley is going to be back on campus this weekend, right?
Right. CJ's expected to be back. Tramel Jones will be back, so you get some comfort with each other, I guess, throwing. And then Usman Karoma is supposed to be also there, running back. That's a big target. And in I think there's going to be more 2025 guys. I'm hoping to get what I'll call a official list later, hopefully today. But a lot of it will be 2026. It seems like as far as the list that I've built, but I think there's going to be some 2025 guys in there that you know maybe FSU doesn't want public that they're going to be there. So I'll see. But I do think it'll be a very great showing. It's kind of an event where last year it was kind of the first elite camp was like you saw a lot of 2025 guys, and the later one, we saw more so 2026, and so you might have more sprinkled in 2026. I think Brady Smiegel's going to be there, Smigel. So make sure I get it right. He's supposed to be there, so there's a lot of talent that will, but to be honest, and there's a lot of 4-star talent. You can go to the PRB. We have the full list covered. I put a preview up the other day. There's more guys being added. So I think it's going to be a great event. And I think it's kind of what they're trying to do, Tom, is leave that one lasting impression going into that season when they kick off things in Dublin. I think they really want to have some create buzz of excitement of people talking about, okay, this is what they're doing. Now we see what they're doing. We didn't get to see it in person until now. Now we kind of watch what they're doing. They can kind of hang out, be around the players, and then also have the small little camp at the end where they get to work the kids and kind of see what it was like if you played for FSU, what the offense, what the defense is like. And I think it's going to be a really fun weekend, and kicks off more likely on Saturday, but some kids will arrive on Friday. But I think it's going to be a really pivotal event, and certainly a key to finishing out the summer.
Well, the end of the summer means the beginning of football season. This is,
Yeah.
there's always a passing of the baton back and forth between recruiting and team, and they blend together during football season. And so, yeah, thank you. I'll take it on over here. There's so much content right now, as you guys already know, on Warchant TV. Practice coverage, practice footage, press conferences, reactions, analysis. Now for the Seminole Showcase this weekend, you'll find that on Warchant TV. But remember, the information begins at warchant.com. And the season begins at warchant.com. It's $1 for 2 months. If you want to jump on board for the first time, $1 for 2 months. Use the code FSU1. That's FSU and the number 1. For Michael Langston, senior recruiting analyst, who's breaking down one hell of a receiving class, my name is Tom Lang. We will talk to you next time on Warchant TV. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe to us. We've got news coming every which way. Talk to you next time.